Welcome to a new episode of Wout of the World. We just left Australia and this island over here is part of the next episode. We're in Vanuatu.
But before we fly off, let's have a little recap. We cruised the incredible nature along the north coast of Australia, all the way from Broome to Darwin. And now we're ready for a new adventure in the Pacific Ocean.
We said goodbye to Australia in the middle of the night. We left Darwin to fly to Vanuatu, but we have a stopover first on an island in Fiji. Near the airport of Nadi we found this lovely homestay. It's within walking distance, about 5 minutes, although we took the cab because it was raining. We had some pizza, the battery is fully charged, and tomorrow we'll leave again for Vanuatu.
Now that's a pizza!
Here in Vanuatu we will focus mainly on the island of Efate. This is because this is the most important island, this is where the capital is, but also the local airline has gone bankrupt. So we cannot fly to any other islands, at least for the moment. So we're stuck here, but not really, because this is paradise. We're here at Moorings Hotel, right in the center of Port Vila, the capital, and from here we're going to be visiting some other hotels, make nice trips all around the island on Efate in the best of Vanuatu. So let's explore.
We drove off into a totally new world for us. In the middle of the busy capital Port Vila, this is our quiet little oasis. And the views are promising already. For about $80 a night, we found the perfect gateway to paradise. A meal is just $10 and the breakfast is included.
The island Efate isn't very big. You can get to most of the sites within the hour, but you don't want to rely on the inconsistency of the public transportation or expensive taxis. So a rental car is a must, and we rented one at World Car Rentals Vanuatu, a locally owned company. So let's explore the island, guys. In Vanuatu, all life is centered in and around the ocean. You'll find the best beaches, some waterfalls, the best seafood restaurants, and of course, that vibrant Pacific culture. We're gonna try and explore all of that on this island. So what better place to start than on the main and most popular beach right near the capital of Port Vila. This is Mele Beach.
Vanuatu is still preserved from mass tourism. You can still have these beaches to yourself, and the local life is all around. The little island in front here is called Hideaway Island, and it's quite unique for having the only underwater post office in the world. You can actually post letters here. Efate has about 66,000 inhabitants, and 50,000 of them live in the capital. The rest of the island is still unspoiled nature.
So we just arrived in Vanuatu and I found out that I left my swimming shorts in the previous camper van in Australia. So what am I to do? I look around for some shops and there's only a Quicksilver Billabong shop, super fancy, around 60 to 80 euros for swimming shorts. On the way back I found this little vintage second-hand shop and over there I bought for €3.46 this super hip swimming shorts. What do you think, guys? At moorings we have this little beach in front of the hotel and it's fun to see with the tides that when it's high tide there's nothing to see, but when the tide gets lower you see all these starfishes on the beach. It's really cool, it's like 100 of them. After getting used to Vanuatu here in the capital Port Vila and the beautiful Moorings Hotel, it's time to leave again because on a half-hour drive from here we're going to an even more secluded paradise right near the beach and the jungle, guys. So lovely.
Time to get some groceries in the local supermarket. And while this seems pretty local already, maybe in town we can see some more of the real Vanuatu.
One place in Port Vila that's worth a visit is the Central Market Dome, because I can buy bananas in the supermarket for the kids, but it's way more interesting to do it over here. Walk with me.
And from there we drive on to the west side of the island.
Even though it's just a short drive, we already got a massive change of scenery, guys. Just look at the views that we get on the way to the next hotel. Such a beautiful island.
On the way we stop at one of the top sites.
If there's one thing that you cannot skip when you're in Vanuatu, it's the waterfalls. They're everywhere, they're gorgeous, and the most beautiful and popular ones you can find at Malay Cascades. I'm here on a Monday morning, and I must say, I'm all alone. I got them all to myself, and they're incredible.
It's a good thing that I didn't take the bus today. Hey, are they making what of the world signs?
So we started at the bottom pools to see already some awesome waterfalls, but the lower ones. And now I'm walking up to the big one, the Beauty, and it's a couple of stairs, a 20-minute walk, and on the way you have the perfect walk. Because this is all owned by Vanuatu people, so you see the children playing, doing some fishing, you see the women gardening. The men on the way are very friendly and they show you where to go. So over there is the Beauty, the big waterfall. I'm at the upper waterfall, guys, and how awesome is this? I have to walk through the waterfall to get up there to the big one.
This place is unbelievable. And in Vanuatu you can still have this to yourself. Bye guys, see you next time. It seems like we're leaving society behind as we drive off into nature. With the drone we see how remote this fantastic location is.
Wow, this second hotel is so beautiful. The location and the road to get here was so spectacular. There's this little path at the end. We're gonna walk right over there and there's our own private villa on this secluded beach in the jungle. Let's go. The welcome drink is a fresh coconut. I always love that. You want to taste it, Celine? or play with the straw, whatever. So we're staying at this extraordinary place for the next 3 days. The name is Resort and Spa Vanuatu, and this beach is right between the islands Iritoka and Lelepa, next to a protected reef. It's the perfect spot to escape daily life for a while. Let me show you our villa.
Our villa isn't only beautiful on the outside. Jens wanted to stay and live here.
This beautiful hotel with its waving palm trees isn't the only thing that brought us here on the west coast. There's also one thing in the water. The only protected UNESCO World Heritage Reef of Vanuatu is right in front of this beach. So I'm going into the water to have the best snorkeling in Vanuatu. Wow, I rarely saw a reef this beautiful, so pure, so untouched. It's also because nobody ever comes here, of course, except for these 4 little villas right next to this amazing colored reef. Spectacular.
We have to spot some turtles next time, because right now...
Going to the fire show!
The guy in front of me is really slow, and I have to get to a fire show. Hey, it rhymes! So it's really a happening, guys. Every Friday night on Mele Beach there is a big fire show. And the hotel just told us, otherwise we wouldn't even know. But it's supposed to be fantastic. Party time!
We didn't know what to expect, but this is one of the best cultural, music, dance and fire shows we've ever watched. awesome was that, guys? Yay! So then you're playing with fire on the beach, and tomorrow you'll be looking for turtles again in the reef. Yeah. That's Vanuatu. We have breakfast on one of the best places ever. And in a place like this, it's best not to make any plans and just hang around for the day.
It's another day in paradise, which means a new chance for me to spot some sea turtles again. Let's go, I'm gonna find them, guys, I swear.
And this time I spot a young turtle first. Whoa, he's fast! And another who sticks around a bit more.
If you're bored on this beach, you can always grab a kayak. Let's go for some morning kayaking, Jens. Woo!
From the kayak, Jens and I can even spot more marine life.
Goodbye, beautiful home!
It's always hard to leave a place like this. But we haven't seen the East Coast yet.
We already saw so much of Vanuatu, but there's still plenty more to discover. And for that we drive to the south side of Efate, where we'll find our third hotel called Nasama Resort. And from here we're gonna see some major sites in the south and east.
Now that's a lot of palm trees. As we drive along the east coast, it turns out that the rocky beaches have crazy blue water.
On Vanuatu you will find many rocky beaches, but here and there are some perfect blue bays with pearly white sand beaches. And Eton Beach is such a beach. We drove there in 1 hour from Port Vila over in the east side of Efate, and because there's a lagoon just behind a barrier of rocks, it's perfect for swimming with small children. And it's excellent for snorkeling because it's such clear water.
Eton Beach is often considered the best beach in Efate because of its ideal location and connection to a freshwater creek.
Also on the east coast of Efate is one of the true highlights of Vanuatu, called the Blue Lagoon. Just like the name suggests, it's this perfect blue lagoon right in the middle of the jungle next to the blue ocean, and it's perfect for a dive. So I'm going in, and if you're in this neighborhood, certainly do not skip this one.
It's simply too much fun to do some diving and cliff jumping here.
Lately I've been thinking way too much. Not whether I'd even call this love. I'm always in my head, you're always on your phone. It never seems to feel right. No plane is in the sky, no help is on the way. I don't know what you want me to say. Can't take another year, can't take another day. Can't wait until it feels right.
That's it, unfortunately, for today's episode in Vanuatu. But the next adventure will be nice too, so be sure to watch us in Fiji. Woo! Ciao!
I've never been scared to walk away, and you're making it easier for me.
I almost forgot to buy a souvenir, guys.
You probably wouldn't chase, and darling, that is messed up.
And I got a tip for the best local food in town.
No help is on the way. I don't know what you want me to say.
This chicken.
Love it. Break away and find something that feels right.
Be sure to subscribe as we continue to the next Pacific paradise in Fiji.
It's pizza time!
Oh, it's really early in the morning and we just came to Fiji last night and we slept at the same homestay as the last time because we slept here when we were going from Australia to Vanuatu and now from Vanuatu to the Yasawa Islands in Fiji. So we even had the same pizza. It's nice to be back.
It was a half an hour by taxi in the early morning and we arrived at the docks to get on this sea bus ferry that takes us to the Yasawa Islands in 4 hours. On the rough sea, but it's a nice boat, guys.
On the boat we see civilization disappearing to the horizon as we sail into an endless water world. From the boat we spot several dolphins.
We're here, guys, Yasawa Island. It took us 4 hours, it was some rough sea on the way. Some people got sick, but fortunately not us. So, what do you think of this paradise?
When the boat stops, it seems that all islands have sent their men out for a pickup and a warm welcome. Even more remotely, this is our new home away from home.
A welcome drink? Welcome to paradise. We spent our days on the Yasawa Islands on a small island called Tavewa. And this is the Coral View Island Resort, where the cottages are right next to the beach and the beautiful underwater world. It's the perfect getaway from daily life to really clear your mind. Because there are no villages, no restaurants nearby, so we even have all the meals included. And we can just relax next to the beach for a whole week.
From the sky we see the beauty of these islands. In total, the Yasawa Islands are just 135 square kilometers. After the famous mutiny of the Bounty ship in 1789, Captain William Bligh ended up here. The United States later had outposts here in World War II. And after such an impressive history, it's now the ultimate holiday destination.
So I wanted to give you my first impression of the Yasawa Islands. Never been here before, saw this water, we climbed the shore, we got our welcome drink, got our lunch served straight away, and then they brought us to our little cabin, which is this one just behind me right near the beach. So yes, my first impression is, wow, this is paradise.
These cabins are basic but beautiful and completely in Fijian style.
The Yasawa Islands are situated about 80 kilometers from the main island of Viti Levu in the northwest. On these 20 islands live only about 2,000 people. And because on every island are only 1 or 2 small resorts, it actually feels like you're on an uninhabited island.
We see how important music is here. When it's time for lunch, or when a guest leaves the island. But luckily not us yet.
Over the decades that I was traveling, I often meet people and then I ask them what was the best natural site that you saw, or the most beautiful waterfall, and in this case, the most beautiful snorkeling spot. And the people often said, Yasawa Islands, Fiji. So I remembered that and now we are there. So I got my fins, I got my snorkeling gear and my GoPro, and it's time to see the best coral here in all of Fiji. That's what they say.
I've been looking now.
The coral is as expected insanely vibrant and colorful.
But then you walk on by, and I knew what I had to do. The way you're moving, the way you're shining, everybody's watching you. I wanna make you mine. The way you're looking, the way you're smiling, it's like you put a spell on me. You're always on my mind, on my mind.
I meet this friendly turtle and we hang around a bit.
I've been looking now for somebody just like you, but then you walk on by, and I knew what I had to do.
Wow, guys, that was so beautiful. I'm exhausted because there's a lot of current here, but the colors. The coral and the soft coral and all the fish. It's really one big coral garden here, really nice. I'm gonna hang these up somewhere and grab a beer.
But first we get a nice presentation of the use of coconuts for the milk and also for making tools and baskets.
Okay guys, I found the cutest gecko in the world. It's here on this little dish. Just by our cottage there's this little pathway that goes to the back of the resort, but as it turns out also to the other side of the island. So there are like two hills, and between that there's this little mountain pass, and you can walk in 15 minutes to another beautiful beach. We're gonna do some exploring today to see the other side of this island. And it's all uninhabited, so you feel like the first explorer here.
The nature is overwhelming, and we end up at this Bounty Beach, quite literally knowing the history of the MS Bounty on these islands. Walking around here is insane, though Yen seems to be very used to it by now. At the end of Tavewa we look out over the neighboring island Marakawa Levu. Those on the left there are Nananu-i-Ra and Turtle Island.
The funny thing actually about this beach on the other side is We can only walk here at low tide because this will all be underwater in a couple of hours. So we have to be back by then too.
These crabs don't seem to mind the upcoming tide though. Walking back, we spot some goats. And this little monkey. The next morning we see how the shipping of materials is done here the fast way. And we take a boat to another island.
The island that we stay at, called Tavewa Island, is kind of small and we saw it all in a few days. So it really pays off to make a little boat trip and go to the next island just across the water. It's called Nakula Island and over here we find the Blue Lagoon. And they didn't lie choosing that name because look at the waters. Gonna do some snorkeling, fly with the drone. This is paradise again.
This island is very green and has lots of lakes and mangrove forests. What an incredibly beautiful world this is.
I walked around a bit and this place is really Robinson Crusoe shit. When you look around, there's nothing else than just the beach, the water, nature. Oh, and coconuts.
And there is this banded snake eel, looking like a snake, but it's actually a harmless fish.
Unfortunately, our week in paradise has come to an end and this place was truly amazing. Now the boat's gonna pick us up. We're going back to the mainland where the adventure continues. I'll see you over there.
So now time for our goodbye song. And dance. Two friends there say goodbye from another island as we sail through the rough ocean back to society. Now we sail on to the main island Viti Levu to see the daily life of this incredible country. But of course we'll seek nature again too. We start here in the town of Lautoka and first drive to the northeast.
Because of the rough sea yesterday, it took us little over 5 hours to get from the Yasawa Islands back to Lautoka on the main island of Viti, Levu. And we are there now. It's the next morning because yesterday we still had to drive for 3 hours up to a beautiful place called Raki. It has some peninsulas, green hills, the bluest ocean, and we have a great view here at Dua Dua Beach Resort.
The landscape is somewhat different from Yasawa. It's all green and there are lots of mountains. Fiji has 330 islands, but from the total of 1 million people, 750,000 live on Viti Levu. But clearly not on this side, where we find peace and tranquility. Next to the mangroves and the blue ocean, we find our next place to stay.
So the place where we ended up is in the north of the main island of Viti Levu in Raki, which is very remote. There's not a lot of people living here and the roads aren't too good either. So we needed a good rental car, which we got at Koala Rentals. And when we drove all the way up here, this is the place that we found. So I'll show you our little cottage here looking out over the sea, number 11. It's my lucky number.
The room is really nice, but as suspected, the view is even better.
Good morning! It's an incredible new day, and when I look out over the balcony and the sun is shining, I feel like going on an adventure. So we spoke to the captain, and on his boat he's gonna take us around the peninsula to see the most beautiful blue bays, some incredible white beaches, do some snorkeling and discover the north of Viti Levu.
In this area there are many tropical islands, some with houses, some with hotels, and some barely inhabited. We are out to find a paradise all for ourselves. Found it!
After just a short boat trip, we arrive at the next island on which we are looking from our hotel and is named Nananu-i-Ra. And we look out over the other side of this island, which has some hotels. But we went around the corner to see the white beaches where there is nothing. These beautiful Robinson Crusoe beaches with some jungle, white sand and the beautiful coral. So we're gonna do some snorkeling and I'm curious to see what this looks like from above with the drone.
Okay, so I double-checked. There is nobody in a 10-kilometer radius. Our own little paradise.
How insane was that flying here with the drone? This place is truly one of the best places I've ever been in my entire life. So now let's go for some snorkeling. Every day I'm snorkeling.
There is some current, but we can see how incredibly vibrant the coral is over here.
That was such an incredible tour, and we saw the peninsula and the outlying islands here in the north of Viti Levu. And it's super hot, so now I need a swimming pool. Oh wait, we have one. Yes? Woo!
The north is spectacular, but we grab the car and are ready to explore more of Viti Levu. We stop in Nadi to do some shopping and see some of the city life.
So we're now on the south side of the main island Viti Levu, cruising the coral coast. And this side of the island is a bit more tropical, with the north being drier. We're in the Sigatoka Valley, named after the river. And funnily enough, they also call this place Fiji's salad bowl, because you can buy a lot of fruits and vegetables here. How great is this? Our own little homestay just outside of Sigatoka, where we enter the coral coast for some new adventures in the south of Viti Levu. And this is just so local. Look at this! Our home for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
Now let's see where we are. Sigatoka is proof why this is called the Coral Coast. With the low tide we can see the abundant reefs all around. But like I said, the other major site are the fruit and vegetables.
So we just woke up here in Sigatoka. And it's apparently very normal here that the landlord just brings you all this tropical fruit. We got coconuts, banana for Jens, banana for Celine, and some papayas. So I'm gonna drink this one. It's fresh from the garden. Yeah! We're truly in Fiji now, guys.
It's great.
Want a sip?
Yeah. I like that.
This is so amazing.
Another interesting place here is the best coffee in all of Fiji. And it's all made right here.
Now that's good coffee.
Hey, the papaya matches the kitchen tools.
Yes, okay, thanks for that info, Susie. Fiji has many people with Indian roots, so Indian food is a must try. So delicious.
From Sigatoko we drove just a little bit down south, about half an hour, to end up in the middle of nowhere at a place called Mango Bay. It's a small resort and we drove here through a valley overlooking 1,000 palm trees. And once inside, I must say, this village really resembles the village of Moana by Disney. You see what I mean?
It's no wonder, of course, since Moana was based on a mix of cultures from Fiji, Samoa and Tonga. And these surroundings should be the movie set when they decide to make the live-action Moana movie.
We're totally at peace here in the middle of nature paradise. But even though we're a little bit in the middle of nowhere, it doesn't mean that there is nothing to do here. There's a beautiful blue bay just waiting to be discovered on the kayak. And we can also discover the underwater world while doing some snorkeling. So I'm definitely gonna do that. And if we really get bored, we can always learn the Fijian art of basket weaving.
Kayaking out here is sensational. But remember, Suze, never go beyond the reef. Okay, I saw that movie too many times. We enjoy one of the best pool locations in the world. And Jens decides to take on a new hobby of basket weaving.
So now only one thing remains to do here. Discover the underwater world. So this morning I'm going for a little snorkeling trip.
It wasn't too hard to find turtles, and I see many tropical fishes. Like this blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray.
Good morning, and unfortunately it's time to leave this paradise today. But it's just an hour's drive to the next boat that takes us to another paradise island. But first, let's have some breakfast and coffee.
Now we drive to the most western tip of Viti Levu.
That's our boat. We're gonna cruise down the river and go to Paradise Island, called Robinson Crusoe Island actually.
We cruised the Tuva River for 30 minutes through the mangroves towards an island that is nicknamed Robinson Crusoe Island.
So we just arrived here at Levu Island and we went straight to our cottage, which is at the tip of the island with the beach on all sides, between the palm trees, really traditional, and I will show you the inside for the coming 2 days, guys. Welcome to paradise again.
It's well hidden away from the busy mainland. We can't believe that this cottage right next to the Robinson beaches is only $50 a night. Paradise just got affordable.
Levu Island is the perfect getaway if you don't have a lot of time in Fiji and you don't want to travel too far. Because multiple times a day the boat leaves not too far from the city of Nadi. It takes you about half an hour to get to the paradise across the water. And for this reason this resort has won many prizes, among which the gold medal for the best budget island resort in all of Fiji.
In the background you can see busy Viti Levu with nearly 1 million inhabitants. Well, over here the closest thing to working will be lifting our cocktail while rolling into the bluest ocean.
As it turns out, we arrived here just in time for lunch. And at lunchtime, the Fijians here like to put up a little show. Did I say little? It's the biggest and most bombastic Fijian culture show that you can find in the entire country. Really.
Sit back, relax and enjoy the show. We even got a spectacular fire show. A tropical island, of course, has some wild animals. And the sunsets are incredible over here.
Best omelette in Fiji. Hola.
After 2 nights and an authentic Robinson experience, we take a cab back to civilization. Our next place is huge for $100 a night and we feel right at home.
half an hour, the boat took us to the main island again, and from there we had a transfer to this little hotel within the hour where we stay for 2 nights. And tomorrow it's time for our last adventure in Fiji before we move on to Australia. And it's something very special because it reminds me of my childhood when I watched this movie 100 times with Tom Hanks. On the island, I'm talking about Castaway, and we're going to the Mamanuca island where this movie was filmed. Getting ready for another boat ride? The last one in Fiji actually, and this is exactly number 1 zillion. But that's Fiji.
Port Nananu is the place where most of the luxury boat trips leave for paradise. And we soon encounter the first of the Mamanucas. But this island is just a little bit too big for us. We want a smaller one to feel like Tom Hanks, people. Okay, this is looking better.
The Mamanuca Islands are a group of islands just west of Nadi near the main island of Fiji. And this is actually where Tom Hanks was stranded in the movie Castaway. Nowadays you can make a nice boat trip, go there for a day or even stay longer in one of the resorts, but still most of the islands remain uninhabited. I will tell you, as a matter of fact, there are 20 islands and 7 of them go completely underwater at high tide.
Because the Mamanucas are so small and widely spread over 1,000 square kilometers, it feels like we're super remote. And we also did pick the smallest one of them all.
From all the Mamanucas, we chose the one called South Sea Island. And this is the closest one to the main island, only half an hour on a boat, and you get to this super small island. Really beautiful, but big in name because this is the most popular one.
Compared to our Robinson experience, this place is very luxurious. We even have an all-inclusive concept for the day on this tiny island. If only Tom Hanks had a deal like this for him and Wilson!
Cheers! I love beer.
I love wine.
And I love beer.
I love wine more.
I love beer even more. Change?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. I love wine.
I love beer.
We do some games and a little bula dance before we say goodbye to the Mamanucas.
That's it, unfortunately, for our incredible adventure in Fiji. But our world trip is moving to Australia. And over there we'll be driving the east coast, the south coast, all the major sites all the way to the west in this super nice four-wheel drive camper van. So I'll see you soon.
Don't forget to subscribe and always travel with us on new adventures all over the world. Ciao!